one, we're not okay. So okay, good. There's the regular season. So week one, they play at Pittsburgh. And do you think they beat Pittsburgh?
I think they lose to Pittsburgh. I think everybody's underselling Russell Wilson going to the Steelers. I think everybody think that Justin Fields is going to see him by week 6 or 7. I think Russell Wilson is going to, I'm not saying ball out, but he's going to play pretty good this year. So I got Atlanta losing to Pittsburgh.
I I'm on the same trajectory as you. I think they lose to Pittsburgh, but it's because I know Kirk Cousins just got all that money, but he's probably thinking, "Oh, Penix, they drafted Penix, and they probably want him to play at some point." So I think they lose to Pittsburgh. Then they got Philly week 2 on the road. I think they lose to the Eagles.
Yes, I agree. I think the Eagles on a mission to come back from their collapse of last year, so they're gonna come out the gates hot. So yes, I got the losing to Philadelphia.
Then they play Kansas City at home, and I see them losing to Kansas City, and I don't think it's going to be much of a game.
No, I think they're gonna play the Chiefs strong, but yeah, I got to lose it too. I'm gonna say they're gonna lose a close game to the Chiefs because they're already 0-2, so they're gonna try to come out the gates hot. I think the end KC gonna be too much for them.
So they're 0-3. They come back home. They stay at home and play New Orleans. For me, the New Orleans game's a coin toss. It could go one of two ways. They could win it, or they could somehow lose.
I got to win it because if they want any chance to make the playoffs, any chance to win the division, they need to win this game. So this is a must win for them. So they're gonna beat New Orleans.
So they're 1-3. You know what? I agree. I think they end up beating New Orleans because they play Tampa Bay the next week, and I don't see them beating the Bucs.
I'm seeing that schedule. So they got Tampa Bay, they got Carolina. So they got 3 straight division games. So I'm just gonna say they're gonna win all 3 of them games to be 3-3 to come back to 500. They're gonna sweep them 3 games against their division foe.
So they're going to be 3-3 going into the Seattle game. I'll let you go first. Do you think they beat Seattle?
Yeah, I think they made a mistake forcing out Pete Carroll. I think Seattle is going to take a downturn with the coaching change with the coach McDonald. I think they're going to beat Seattle to go to 4-3.
I think they beat Seattle too. Now they go and play at the Buccaneers.
They're going to lose to Tampa because Tampa doesn't want to get swept by Atlanta. So I'm going to say they're going to lose to Tampa.
Same thing. So then they play Dallas at home. I think they get. I want to say they get beat by Dallas, but it's Dallas. Dallas tends to lose games they shouldn't lose.
You're so right. I agree. I don't know why they didn't fire Mike McCarthy, but Jerry Jones is going to do the Jerry Jones thing. So I'm going to say they're going to beat Dallas for what people think is upset, but I think Atlanta's going to show how good a team they are. I'm saying they're going to beat Dallas.
So that puts their record at 5-5.
I think 5-4.
5-4. So then they go to New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm saying with the Buccaneers, the Saints are going to get swept by the Falcons. We're going to lose to the Saints.
So they're now 5-5. Then they go to Denver.
Denver's going to be one of the worst to be one of the 2 or 3 worst teams in the league. So they're going to beat them.
So 6-5.
Yes.
Then they play the Chargers at home after their bye week.
You know what?
I think.
Look, good.
What were you gonna say?
I'm gonna say I got the Falcons being a very improved team, so I'm gonna say they're gonna beat the Chargers.
I think they do too, but I think it's gonna be one of the higher scoring games of the year.
Yeah, I agree.
So they're 8-5. Then they go to Minnesota.
I'm not as high on Minnesota as a lot of other people are. I say they beat Minnesota.
I do too, because at that point, who's their quarterback going to be? Is it still going to be Sam Darnold, or is it going to be McCarthy?
At that point, I would say McCarthy. At that point, I think about that. To me, at that point, the Vikings will be out of playoff contention at that point. So they're gonna just go with JJ the rest of the year.
And then they got the Raiders the next week in Vegas.
Uh, I want to say
When
they win. I want to say they win, but Antonio Pierce has that team, ready, especially during home games. I'm saying they're gonna get upset by the Raiders.
so 8-6. The Giants are next. I think they beat the Giants.
Absolutely.
9-6.
Yeah.
At the Commanders.
They better win. They're trying to get a good playoff spot. Yes, better be watched.
So 10-6, and then Carolina at home.
Win. I'm gonna say they win. They lost them last year. I think they're gonna beat them this year.
So 11. Atlanta goes 11-6.
Yeah, I think Kirk Cousins. He's gonna play well. He's gonna make sure that Michael Penix don't see the field for the next 2-3 years.
So then we get. This should be interesting. Carolina. Who do they got week 1? Carolina's got New Orleans week 1.
Carolina is gonna be a lot of losses.
Loss. Los Angeles. Loss.
Yes.
Lost to the Raiders.
Yes.
So 0-3. They're definitely gonna lose to Cincinnati.
Yes.
Even though it's at home. 0-4.
Yes.
Oh boy. Goodness, the game against Chicago is not a primetime game.
They don't need to be. The Bears gonna win pretty easy.
Yeah.
Lost.
So that's 0-5.
Yes.
Then they play the Falcons. 0-6.
I'm gonna say they're gonna beat Washington. I'll give them the win over Washington.
Well, no, they're 0-6 after they lose to Atlanta.
Yeah, so it'll be 1-6.
Yeah, 1-6. Denver, I think that's going to be a win.
Yeah, they'll be Denver. That's 2-6.
Then they got New Orleans at home.
Yeah.
Loss.
The loss.
2-7. And then they got the Jets, and I think that's a London game.
I think that's the Giants.
Yes, it is. In London.
Well, I say this right here. If the Giants lose to the Panthers, Dan Jones needs to be benched for the rest of the year. So I'm gonna say a loss. I'm gonna say a loss because Dan Jones needs to be set out if he loses to Carolina.
2-8. So, look at that! Look at that 3-game stretch after their bye week. Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Philly. I think that's
loss.
So that's 2-11. They're gonna lose to Dallas.
Yes.
2-12.
Yes.
Lose to Arizona. 2. Do you think they beat Arizona?
They could. I mean, I know they got Kyler and Harrison Jr., but Arizona to me is still not a good team. I say they beat Arizona. I say they get another win on the belt. They beat Arizona.
So 3-14. No. 3-13. and I think they lose to the Bucks, so
Yes.
that's
Yes. They
3
lose.
and 4.
So they'll be 3-14. So they had 3 wins. Three
Well, and
wins,
then what
14
about
losses.
it? How
Atlanta,
about
yeah.
so that's 3? Yeah, 3 and 14.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Now we got New Orleans is next. Okay, this should be interesting. Okay, so New Orleans, they start the year at home against Carolina.
Yeah, I was saying that's a win.
Win 1-0. Dallas at home. No, at Dallas.
I say they lose to Dallas.
Mm, I do too, so they're 1-1. Philly at home.
Uh, Something tells me early in the year they're gonna play good. I say they beat Philly.
I I'm along the same lines as you. I think they beat Philly, so they're 2-1. Atlanta on the road.
Yeah, we ever said they're gonna lose to Atlanta. Yeah,
So they're 2-2.
uh,
At Kansas City. Loss.
yeah.
2-3. At home against the Buccaneers.
I'm gonna say they beat the Bucks.
So 3-3. I think they beat the. I think they split with the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
So they're 3-3. Then they get Denver at home.
yeah,
That's a
that's the way.
win.
Thursday night
At,
too. Yeah, they can't afford to lose to uh Denver on prime time. So yeah, that's a win.
mm. And then at the Chargers,
I say it's a loss.
loss. Carolina on the road.
Yeah, we say win.
When at Atlanta at home.
Yeah, we say
When
yeah, win.
Cleveland at home.
I mean,
Lo-
I like the Browns, but Deshaun Watson just hasn't played with since he's been there, so it's tough. You
so
said
what are you
win.
giving?
You said
I,
win.
I
I'll say win.
want I want to give them the win, but I feel like they're gonna find a way to lose to Cleveland. Something deep down's telling me they're gonna lose to the Browns. I don't know what it is.
Some telling me they're gonna pull it out. Some telling me that's what the games they're gonna win. Deshaun just ain't gonna make the play that needs to be made to win.
So you have them winning that game. I have them losing. Okay, so Rams at home.
Oh man, without Aaron Donald, the Rams are not as good.
I think that's a win.
Yeah,
Giants on the road.
I say win.
When Washington at home.
Oh, definitely
When
win.
Green Bay on the road.
They lose to Green Bay.
Loss. Vegas at home.
I say win.
And at Tampa Bay. I think they lose
Lost.
at the Buccaneers.
They're lost.
So their record is going to be, what did we say, 9?
Yeah, I wasn't keeping count, man. I need to, but yeah, I think Atlanta wins the division though. It's gonna be close, man.
Now we get to the Buccaneers. Let's see. Tampa Bay starts the year at home against the Red. I want to call them the Redskins so bad.
Commanders. Yeah.
I know.
Well, whatever
At
they are,
home
they
against.
bad. Whatever they are, they bad. The watch the bad team. They're gonna beat the watch the bad team.
I think they beat Washington. Now, I'm interested. Week 2, they play at the Lions.
Ooh. I think Detroit can. Look, go ahead.
I think they lose.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. I think the Lions can go to the Super Bowl this year. I don't see the Lions losing the game. They should win. So yes, I'm going with this.
Denver at home. Win.
Yes.
Philly at home. Loss. Atlanta on the road. We've already said that was a.
Yeah, I think the Falcons, Bucks, and Saints are all gonna like split with each other.
Okay, so they lose on the road. They lose on the road to New Orleans. Baltimore
Mhm.
at home on Monday Night Football.
Ooh, I think the Ravens on a mission too. I don't see them beating Baltimore.
I don't either. At Kansas City. Oh, no. At home against Atlanta the next week. When
Uh,
at Kansas City. Uh, at Kansas City on Monday Night Football the week after.
okay.
Loss?
I'm gonna, s- I'm gonna
It's
say at home, right?
no, it's at Kansas City.
Oh man, whew.
That's a loss. For me, it's a loss.
I don't see Kansas City losing but one game at home probably, and they gonna be to the Bucks.
And then the next week they play San Francisco at home. That's
Whew.
a loss.
Yeah, yeah.
At the
Look,
Giants, the first game
win,
after the bye week at the Giants, win at Carolina
win,
versus the Raiders,
win.
win at the Chargers,
Uh, I'm gonna say a loss.
yeah, me too. At Dallas,
I'm gonna say a
I
loss.
loss. Carolina at home,
Yeah, a loss.
win.
I'm saying win, win. I'm saying win. Yeah.
At home against New Orleans, win.
Uh-huh.
So that's the entire NFC South. Now we're gonna go with the West, or are we gonna go North?
We could do the North for last. That's my division, so we can do North for last. So we could do the West, then the East.
Okay. So we're gonna start with the Cardinals. Arizona starts the year at Buffalo.
Yeah, that's a loss.
Loss. At
We'll take
home
the,
against. Go ahead.
no, I'm gonna say the Bills ain't the same team, but they still miles ahead of the Cardinals. So yeah, so definitely loss.
At home against the Rams. Win.
Yeah, I say they beat the Rams. Upset.
At home against the Lions. Loss.
Loss. Blowout.
At home versus the Commanders.
Win.
At San Francisco.
Loss.
At Green Bay.
Loss.
I agree. At home against the Chargers.
Loss.
At the Dolphins.
Loss. That game against the Chargers on Monday night. Why?
Exactly. That I'm looking at that too. Why is it a Monday night game?
Some of these prime time games they pick, I don't understand. Like this game ain't no contest.
I think they lose the Dolphins too. At home against the Bears.
Loss.
Loss. Jets at home. Loss. Seattle on the road. Loss.
No. I say to beat Seattle. I think Seattle. I say is taking the downturn. I'm thinking to go upset Seattle.
At Minnesota.
Loss.
Win. Seattle at home. Win.
Yeah, I think they split with Seattle, so I guess Seattle win it out.
At the Patriots. At
Win.
home against the Patriots.
Win.
Win. Carolina on the road. Win.
Yeah, win.
Rams on the road.
Win. Oh, wait a minute. I think I had Carolina beat Arizona, so I gotta say a loss. So yeah, I'll say that's one of the 3 wins Carolina gonna get to beat Arizona.
And then San Francisco
Yeah, lost.
loss. Oh, okay. Next up, we've got the Rams. The Rams without Aaron Donald.
That's gonna be a hard watch.
At Detroit,
Lost.
loss. At Arizona,
With I think we said
loss.
lost. Yeah, lost. So yeah,
San Francisco at home,
lost.
loss. Chicago in
Lost.
Chicago,
Lost.
loss.
Lost.
Green Bay at
Lost.
home, loss. Vegas at home,
That's their first win finally. Win.
win. Minnesota at home,
Win.
win. Seattle on the road,
They always play Seattle good. I'll say they beat Seattle.
same here. When Miami at home on Monday Night Football.
Another game. Why is on Monday night was lost?
I don't think it's going to even be close. I think Miami's going to destroy them. New England on the road. When do you think they beat the Patriots?
Man, I don't know. I mean, like I said, without Aaron Donald, I really can't trust him to win many games. I'll say they be doing
Philly at home, loss.
loss. Yep.
New Orleans at New Orleans,
Loss.
loss. Buffalo at home.
Loss.
San Francisco at San Francisco. And I also think they lose to Buffalo.
Yeah, loss.
San Francisco lost for me. Jets at the Jets.
Loss. Man, I
Loss.
didn't the Rams would be this bad without Aaron Donald, but they could be. Man.
Arizona at home.
Win.
I think they beat Arizona too. Seattle at home.
Win. So
Win.
got to put it down 3 games or in the Rams. Man. Shopping Vegas too good to coach for this. Man.
Well, I think at that, I think it's time to retire.
Probably go out like Aaron Donald. Yeah, you're possibly right.
San Francisco. Oh, how fitting is this? San Francisco, first game of the year, at home against the Jets on Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers.
Something's telling me the Jets can put it off. Something's telling me Aaron Rodgers wants to come out with a bang. I'm going to say the Jets put off the upset and beat the 49ers.
You know what? I'm right there with you. Something tells me that something funny is going to happen in this game, and the Jets are going to somehow win.
Yes.
At Minnesota, win. At LA, win. New England at home. That's not going to even be a game. Arizona at home. Win. Seattle at Seattle. Win. Kansas City at home.
I say they beat Kansas City.
Win. Dallas at home.
They crushed Dallas last year. They'll crush them again.
Win. Are they going to lose the game this year?
And why this game on NBC again? The last year's game was a joke. What? Mercy. This game should be on Fox. But okay.
At Tampa Bay. Win.
Yeah, win.
Seattle at home.
Win.
Green Bay at home. Win. No, at Green Bay. At Green Bay.
I'm gonna get Green Bay to win. I think Green Bay is gonna be ready for that game because they felt it should be San Fran last year. So I say Green Bay beats.
At Green Bay, I think they lose. At Buffalo, Sunday Night Football.
I say they beat Buffalo. Close, but we read them.
Same. Chicago at home, win.
Yeah.
Rams at home, win. At the Dolphins,
I think
When
this. Yeah. No, no. Well,
Cor-
I was gonna say this is a game that Miami wants to show it can compete with the heavyweights. So I'm gonna give the Dolphins the upset win.
okay, Detroit at home loss
Yeah, I say that loss.
in Arizona on the road win.
Win.
Okay. Oh, poor old Seattle. Poor old Seattle goes last. Uh, Seattle starts the season at home against Denver. Win
Yeah, win.
at the Patriots.
I
Win
say win.
at home against the Dolphins. Loss
Loss.
at the Lions. Loss.
I don't know. They won Detroit the last 3 seasons, 2 or 3 seasons. I don't know. That's not gonna count them out, but it's gonna be close. It's gonna be a close game.
Giants at home.
I
Win.
definitely win.
That should be a win.
It will be a win.
San Francisco at home. Loss on prime time on Thursday Night Football.
Yep.
Again, like you said earlier, some of these primetime games don't make sense.
They don't. I don't know how they pick them.
So we both say they're going to lose to San Francisco.
Yeah.
At Atlanta, I think they
Yeah.
beat. We
Lost.
said they beat Atlanta.
No, no,
Buffalo.
no. We said lose to Atlanta.
Yeah, that's my bad. At home against Buffalo, loss.
Yeah, lost.
Rams at home.
Uh, we
Said
no. I said that the Rams played the Seahawks tough, so I'm saying the Rams gonna win that game.
I believe the same thing. At San Francisco,
Yeah, lost.
loss. At home against Arizona, loss.
Yeah,
At the Jets, loss. Arizona on the road.
I said that the Seahawks and the Cardinals, the road team, will win each game. So they will be Arizona in the second game.
Okay. So we have them splitting with Arizona. So Green Bay, loss. Minnesota, loss.
Loss.
Chicago,
Loss.
loss. Rams, win. Unless, did you say they were going to split with Seattle was going to split with Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then so we just did the NFC West.
So now the NFC East.
Oh, boy. Cowboys, they start the season at the Browns.
I'm gonna say loss.
Loss. At home against New Orleans.
Win.
Win. At home against Baltimore. Loss. You said it earlier. Baltimore is on a redemption tour.
Yeah. Yes. You're right. Yeah. They are.
Giants on prime time. Thursday Night Football.
Win. I might even watch that one. I might even watch that one. Let's see the highlights.
Pittsburgh Sunday Night Football at Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna say loss.
I am too. Loss. At home against the Lions. Loss.
Yeah, loss.
At San Francisco.
Loss.
Atlanta at Atlanta.
I think I said Atlanta would win that one. I think I said Atlanta would upset Dallas.
I am too. At home against the Eagles, loss.
I'm gonna say they beat Philly because they are on the losing streak for I got them between Pittsburgh, Dallas, San Fran, Atlanta. So they gotta break the streak.
At home against the Texans on Monday Night Football,
I,
loss.
I said the beat the Texans
At Washington,
with
win. At home against the Giants,
with
win.
why do you play the Giants on
At home,
Thanksgiving?
that's again. I don't know. Bengals at home on Monday Night Football,
I'm gonna say we
loss. Carolina at Carolina,
win for sure.
win. At Tampa Bay, at home against the Buccaneers on Sunday Night Football.
Say we.
I'm a Buccaneers fan, but to be honest, I think the Cowboys beat us. At Philly, win. No, I think they split with Philly.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. So they split. And then they beat Washington.
So they sweep Washington.
Yes.
Okay, so now we get lovely. We get the Giants next. This should be fun. Their Giants' first game is at Minnesota. Loss.
Yeah.
At home against the Vikings. It's still going to be a loss.
Yeah.
Washington, loss.
I think they beat Washington.
At Cleveland,
The loss.
loss. At home against Dallas,
Loss.
loss. At Seattle,
Loss.
loss. At home against Cincinnati, loss. At home against the Eagles,
The loss.
loss. Pittsburgh at home.
Loss.
At Pittsburgh.
The loss.
Loss.
We should guess by which week Dave Jones will be bitch.
Okay. Washington at home.
Loss.
Loss. Carolina at home. Well, no.
Yeah.
Carolina in London. Loss. I think he gets benched against the Buccaneers.
I was gonna say that too. After they lose to Tampa, that's where they'll sit here.
But who's their backup?
Drew Lock.
Oh, that's when you know you're in. That's when you know you have it bad. When Daniel Jones is your starter and Drew Lock's your backup.
Yeah.
They should have drafted a quarterback. At Dallas.
Loss.
What were you gonna say?
What happened to Tommy DeVito? I gotta find a way where he went to.
I think he's still on the Giants, but I don't know if I think he's back to being third string. And I say they lose to Dallas too. New Orleans at home. Loss. Baltimore at home. Oh boy. Lost. Atlanta at Atlanta.
Loss.
Loss at home against the Colts.
I'm gonna say loss.
Loss at Philly. Loss. Oh boy.
They can't be that man. They'll upset somebody. They can't be 1-16. I'm sure they'll upset somebody.
Yeah, people said that about the Buccaneers a few years ago before we got Jameis. I don't need to be reminded of that. It was pure torture. Pure torture.
Could you imagine having for years Jay Cutler as your quarterback? I'll take Jameis over him.
I'd take Jay Cutler in a heartbeat.
No, Cutler. He had bad leadership skills. He had bad decision making. He had an arm, but that's all he had.
Okay, Eagles. First game of the year, At well, it's a neutral site game, but it seems like they're the home team in I think it's in Paris,
No, it's at Brazil, and that's the game.
Brazil.
That's the team where neither team can wear green. So I don't know what they gonna wear down there.
Well, no, I heard something about it. They said that the NFL saying that was not actually it's not actually true. They're saying if they're out in public that they can't wear green. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
But I think they beat the Packers. And then they get it. So, what do you think? Do they beat Green Bay?
I think straight up the Eagles and the Packers right now. I'm going with the Packers.
So you say 0-1. I say 1-0.
Yeah,
Atlanta.
it was saying they beat Atlanta.
So you got them at 1-1. I got them at 2-1.
Yeah.
New Orleans win.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay win.
Yeah.
Browns win.
Oh, yeah.
Giants win.
Win.
Ooh, Cincinnati
I think they lose to Cincinnati.
at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I think they lose to Cincinnati. At home against the Jaguars.
Win.
Win at the Cowboys.
Yeah, we said they will lose to them.
Lose. Washington at home. Win.
Win.
Rams on the road. Win.
Yeah.
I think they lose to Baltimore.
Yeah, they do too. I do too. Yeah.
Carolina at home. Win.
Win.
Pittsburgh at home.
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. I'm going with Pittsburgh.
I am too. So loss. Washington. Win.
Yeah.
Dallas.
Win.
Win. And the Giants obviously is gonna be
Win.
Okay, so now we get to your division,
Yes.
the North. And we're gonna start with Chicago.
Say the Bears for last. So we just go from Lions, Packers, Vikings, and finish with the Bears.
So Vikings, Packers, Lions. So let's start with
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna start with the Vikings start the year at the Giants. Loss. Okay, let's do this. Where do we think JJ McCarthy makes his first start?
He makes his first start after the bye week when they played Detroit at home.
Okay, so let's get up to so they lose to the Giants. They lose to San Francisco.
Well, you know what? I think they beat the Giants. I say they beat the Giants. And then
I think they
lose the next
start.
four.
Oh,
It's to start to be 1-4.
So-
They win the first game and lose the next four. Then the bye week, then they play McCarthy.
okay. So you think after the bye week they play JJ? So
Yeah.
at home against Detroit.
Right.
So is that a win or a loss?
Oh, that's a long they play in Detroit.
Loss. At the Rams.
I'll give them the win over the Rams.
At the Colts. At home.
Against the Colts. I'll say they lose to the Colts.
At the Jags.
A
Loss. At the Titans.
I'll say they win. I give the win on Saints.
When at the Bears. Loss. Cardinals at home. Win.
A win.
Falcons. we said they lose to Atlanta, right?
Because that game was in Atlanta, right?
No, it's in Minnesota.
I think we did go with Atlanta, yeah, because
So
that's
when
they lose to Atlanta because that's Kirk Cousins game to
revenge,
return, yeah, yep, revenge game to return. So yeah,
Chicago at home. When
uh, I think the Bears sweep the Vikings. I got the Bears much improved team. I'm saying they go sweep the Vikings.
at Seattle,
Win,
at Green at home against Green Bay. When
no loss,
and then at Detroit loss.
yeah, loss.
Okay, so next we've got the Packers.
It's gonna be a lot of wins to me because
Packers
the Packers are a very good team to me. I've seen it for years, so I know.
um Packers at Philadelphia to start the year in
Yeah,
Brazil.
I say they beat
When
Philadelphia straight up.
I do too, so they're 1-0 at home against the Colts.
Win,
When at the Titans.
win,
When at home against Minnesota.
I say win,
When at the Rams.
win,
When at home against the Cardinals.
win,
When at home against the Texans. Loss.
win. Texas as a whole, I say they beat Texas.
At Jacksonville. When
I'll say that's their first loss to the Jaguars.
at home against the Lions. Loss.
You ever say loss?
Bears on the road. Win.
Oh yeah, so number 11, unfortunately.
At home against the 49ers. Win. And you
I had
said
Green
win
Bay.
for that one.
I had Green Bay beat San Fran. Green Bay to win that game.
Dolphins at home. Win.
Win,
At Detroit.
loss,
Loss. At Seattle. Win. New Orleans at home. Win.
win.
Vikings
Win.
at the Vikings. Win. Chicago at home.
I'm thinking at this point they might have a good record. They may rest stars against the Bears. I get the Bears to win.
Same here, loss. So now we're down to who's left? Is it the Packer? Oh, the
The Lions
Lions.
and the Bears. Yep.
Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh my.
A
Rams at home.
win.
Win. Buccaneers at home. Win.
Win.
Cardinals on the road.
A
Win.
win.
Seattle at home.
A
Win.
win.
Dallas at home. No, at Dallas. Correction. Win.
Yeah, they should have won like that last year. They're gonna win this year.
At Minnesota.
A win.
Win. At home against the Titans.
A win.
Win. At Green Bay. Win.
Yeah.
At the Texans. Loss.
Yeah, I say this is their first loss to the Texans.
What did you say?
Yeah, that's their first loss to the Texans.
At home against Jacksonville. Win.
Win.
At Indianapolis. Win. At Chicago. At home against Chicago.
I say
Win.
win.
At home against Green Bay.
Win.
Win. Buffalo at home.
Win.
Win. Chicago on the road.
Win.
Loss.
Yeah, I see them lose
San
to the Bears.
Francisco.
San
San
Francisco.
Francisco on the road. Loss.
Yeah.
And then Minnesota at home. Win.
Win.
So now, did you see where Ramondre Stevenson
Oh.
got a 4-year
Oh.
extension?
The Bears is left. The Bears is the last team to do, and then we done.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, Chicago fans.
You ain't talking about it's I know. You just
That's my fault. I thought we did everybody. Tennessee at home.
win,
Win. Houston on the road.
loss.
Loss. At Indianapolis.
I say they beat Indianapolis.
I think they do too. At the Rams.
No. Home to the
At
Rams.
home.
Win.
Win. Carolina at home.
A win.
Win. Jacksonville at home.
That's over there in England, but I'm gonna go with the
Jags.
Jaguars.
It's a
Win that game.
quote unquote home game for them.
Yeah.
Loss. Washington at Washington.
Win.
Win. At Arizona.
Win.
Win. At home against New England.
Win.
I think this is where New England starts Drake May. I think they beat New England at home against Green Bay.
We say
Loss.
loss to Green Bay.
At home against Minnesota.
Win.
Win. At Detroit. Loss.
Loss.
At San Francisco.
Loss.
Loss. At Minnesota. Win.
Win.
Detroit
Detroit
at home.
Win.
Win. Seattle at home. Win.
Win.
At
Win.
Green Bay.
Win.
Okay. Now we can get to. So, what do you think about Ramondre Stevenson getting an extension from the Patriots?
Well, the Patriots really don't have many skilled position players, so the fact they extended him shows how much they value him, and it shows how much they're gonna lean on him this year to help the quarterback, whoever it is, either Drake May or Jacoby Brissett. So Stevenson will be playing a major role this season.
How many games does it take before the Patriots go to Drake May?
I say when they are out of playoff contention, because you're going to the veterans, as they say, to wait till you're out of playoff contention. So I got to see their schedule. But I say maybe week 10, 11. That's when you.
I'm going to go with when they play the Bears. I think that's going to be Drake May's first start. What up? How about the kid that was in the UFL, that kicker? He's getting looked at for NFL. Jake, I think his name is Jake Bates. He was a kicker in the UFL this year.
Yes. I mean, he should. I mean, if the man can kick the ball 60, 70 yards, he never should be looked at. I mean, they definitely watched. They proved that when the NFL signed the old guy from the XFL, Rob Smart. He hated me. Played the league for some years, so so they do watch. So this guy comes over, he could be in the league for a few years too.
Okay, now let's switch over to the NBA and talk about the NBA for a couple minutes. So I just saw today where Alex Caruso got traded to the Thunder for Josh Giddey. I want I want you to tell me how that trade makes sense for both teams.
Um, the Thunder, I guess they get one of the best pr- perimeter defenders in the league because that's what Alex Caruso is, one of the best perimeter defenders in the NFL. So I mean, NBA. So he goes over there, helps with their defense. Now, Josh Giddey, it was proven in the playoffs that he's not part of the future because he can't really shoot three pointers and he can't really, facilitate offense for others. So him coming over here, he can, help out with playing next to Kobe White. He can, play off Kobe, do his score there. So I guess that could help out like that. And also, with the allegations he had, he can further escape that going elsewhere too.
So, and then what's this rumor I'm hearing about the Bulls potentially trading for Anthony Davis?
I don't believe that because as long as LeBron is with the Lakers, Anthony Davis will be with the Lakers. So if LeBron goes elsewhere, and Anthony Davis should want to take over the Lakers, it'll consist of coming to the Bulls for what?
They said it was going to be Anthony Davis, and the Lakers were going to get back Zach LaVine, DeRozan, and a couple first-round picks.
Anthony Davis at this point should be competing for a championship. What point we come to the Bulls without Zach LaVine and Ronald Rose to do?
I'm right there with you. How that trade doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I think that'd be a bad trade for both teams. Zach LaVine has. I'm sorry to cut you off. Zach LaVine has zero trade value until he comes back and proves he can play after his knee surgery. No team would trade for him to prove that he can possibly play again and play at a high level.
Same thing with Lonzo Ball.
Oh my God, Lonzo Ball needs to do some time. He needs to.
That look says it all. When I said Lonzo Ball,
the Bulls been waiting on this guy for 3 years. This was one of the reasons teams been held back for so long. They went on Lonzo Ball for 3 years. That's just too long.
Do you think Lonzo ever plays again?
Truthfully, I believe he will. I believe he'll get to a point where he's can play on the court for a few minutes. Somebody will bring him back. I mean, Sean Livingston was out for years and years, and he eventually came back. So I'm going to say it is possible. Just that Lonzo is going to be, to me, another 2 years away. So, but he'll play again, but he won't be soon.
What about JJ Redick getting the Lakers head coaching job?
Well, he was really the only choice since Dan Hurley turned him down, and nobody wants to hire Mark Jackson for whatever reason. So he was the only choice. But if I was JJ Redick, I feel a certain way that I was the clear second choice.
I could have told, and I work with people that said, "Oh, Dan Hurley's going to leave Connecticut and go and coach the Lakers." I said, "Yeah, probably." I mean, they did give Dan Hurley quite a bit of money, but he basically said, "No thanks, I'll stay at Connecticut and coach there, and wait for a better job to come open."
It's not a good job because when you coach a team led by LeBron takes all the credit, and then when you fail, it's on you to coach rather than what LeBron did or didn't do. It's on you. That's why Darvin Ham was out of a job, which I don't understand why.
I don't either. And then I've heard that if Mitchell signs an extension, Darius Garland's going to want out of Cleveland. Do you believe those rumors?
I do because it's proven on the court that Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are not a good fit together because they're both ball dominant. They really don't play too well off each other. So one needs to go so the other one can play with a guy that can, be more of a shooter, a guy that can, wait for the ball to get to him and, shoot the ball rather than two ball dominant guys that need to, the ball to be productive. So yes, I do believe that. Same in the front court with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. They're both too similar to play together. One of the two needs to go as well. That's why Cleveland is stuck in this, little maze they in. They got so many guys that are similar to each other. That are guys that do different things.
Yeah, and I think Mobley's a better center than he is power forward, and he proved that in the playoffs against the Magic.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm with you. I would Garland trade him. I would trade Allen. So that way Mobley and Mitchell can play with guys that, can be a better fit among them.
Okay, I need your take. I'm a Magic fan, and I've been seeing mock drafts where analysts have the Magic taking another guard. Do you think the Magic need another guard, or should they go for more of a center or a wing?
Well, I don't watch the Magic too much, but I do know that they're very good on defense and not very good on offense. So they need guys that come in and score the ball, take the pressure off Pablo Beccaro. So they need as many guys that can score as possible. That's why they the lead team decide Klay Thompson to come in, to shoot a few threes and sit down. So they need guys that can only score the ball but can create their own offense.
See, and I'm not upset that they're mocking the Magic to get Klay Thompson in free agency. I don't mind that because he's a veteran, and if you sign him, he can mentor some of the younger guys. But then I've seen trade rumors out there that we might be interested in Darius Garland. And I'm like, there's no way the Cavs would do that. That's a division rival. And
Conference
they would
rival,
be. Huh?
conference rival. Not the same division,
Conf-
but the same conference. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Garland and McCarron would be a good fit together. It would be the same thing like Garland and Mitchell, kind of like like somewhat similar.
yeah, and then they're saying the same thing about, the Magic might be interested in either Trey Young or DeJounte Murray. I'm not giving half of my young core to get Trey Young or DeJounte Murray.
And the Hawks are
Don't
obviously
get me
division
wrong.
Magic. Yeah, good.
Don't get me wrong. I like Trey Young, but I don't think he's worth giving up 2 or 3 of your young guys for and draft picks. Because he could turn around and I think he's a free agent within the next 2 or 3 years. He could turn around after those 2 or 3 years are up and go somewhere else. To me,
Well,
the interesting thing I've seen is that they're talking about that the Knicks might go out and trade for Donovan Mitchell.
I see Donovan Mitchell staying with the Cavs because they fired JB Bickerstaff mainly because he didn't get along with Donovan Mitchell. So that's the main reason why they fired JB's to keep Donovan around. So I think Donovan will be staying with the Cavs.
So you think it's going to be Garland that gets
Traded, yes. And it should be Allen as well.
I mean, what could you get back for Jared Allen at this stage of his career?
What you
Did you
get him? What you get him? What you get him? A return is a stretch forward that can play with Evan Mobley, a power forward that can shoot the 3-pointer, that can shoot the deep twos, open the court up some. So that would help, and also play some decent defense.
I was gonna say, could you get a good package back for either of them, like a first round pick?
anything is possible if you got the right GM who knows how to finesse other GMs. So I'm not gonna say anything is
Look
going
at
to.
OKC's Sam
Preston,
Presti,
say it, Preston. Yes,
genius. All those first round picks,
yes, yes.
and they could, for all we know, they could go out and trade for somebody.
We just
They
did. They
could.
got Alex Caruso. Josh Giddey was clearly a negative, so they got rid of him, but they got a positive
Well,
Alex
no,
Caruso.
I'm talking about somebody in like somebody to pair up with Shea and Chet, like a small forward
Yeah,
or somebody they could play at the 4 and put Chet at the 5. Because I think Chet's a better center than he is power forward.
yeah, I agree. I trust that Sam Presti will make the right moves. He's already made one already today, so he'll make more in the couple of weeks. The Thunder will be back at it again out west.
And then the Celtics. Everybody's getting on the Celtics because they won the championship and they beat 3 teams that didn't have that team's best player. They beat the Heat without Butler. They beat the Cavs without Donovan Mitchell, and they beat the Pacers without Halliburton. And everybody says, "Oh, it's a," and these are Heat fans saying this. They're like, "Oh, it's a Mickey Mouse championship," because they didn't beat those teams with their best player. And they're saying that Tatum and Brown are the most overrated duo in the NBA.
Well, the Celtics had an easy run, yeah, true, but you know what? They had to do the run. If they had failed, people would say they couldn't get the job done. So the bottom line is they got the job done. It's the same thing like, when the Spurs won the title in 99, the Lakers won the 2020 with the uh,
Bubble.
lockout title and the bubble title. They call it asterisk, but to me, they're both champions because they completed the mission. The Celtics completed the mission that was in front of them. They couldn't help with their opponents who they did not have. The Celtics did what they supposed to do, and they are champions for it. And I give them full credit. Next year's a whole new year, so every team come back next
Exactly.
year and compete. But this year was the Celtics' year. In a discussion.
Yes. And the last thing I want to ask is, do you think the Heat get rid of Jimmy Butler or do they run him back?
They're going to trade him eventually because they're not going to give him a new contract. So they're going to trade him before he is able to leave for nothing. So they're going to trade him somewhere.
What can you get in return for Jimmy Butler?
You can get a whole lot. You can get players and draft picks. Basically, this trade is showing that, no player is above the organization. That's what the Heat culture is about. No one player is too big for the organization. That's all
Now,
that.
who gets between Butler and Hero? Who gets traded first?
I say Butler.
I would agree. And then I've also heard people saying, "Oh, Devin Booker might be in trade rumors." I don't see the Suns getting rid of Booker.
Devin Booker's a top 10 player. The Phoenix Suns better not trade him. No, no. You would trade Kevin Durant before you would trade Devin Booker.
What about Beal? Would you trade Beal?
He makes too much money and is not the same player he was 3, 4, 5 years ago. Nobody wants him. So Beal is stuck. And
I
also,
haven't.
Beal has a no trade contract. So the team you go to, you have to approve the trade. So if he likes the Phoenix, where's he going? That's why you got to trade Durant.
See, and as a Magic fan, I remember when he was with Washington, because it seemed like every time they played the Magic, he'd drop 30 or 40 points and have 5 to 10 rebounds and at least 10 assists. That was prime Bradley Beal.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Bradley Beal, John Wall.
Oh, yes.
It's crazy how both of them have fallen off. I mean, they're both still playing, but they're not.
Imagine being the Bulls. I'm about to cut you off. Imagine being the Bulls fan, seeing Bill Wallace killing for Detroit year after year after year. He signs with the Bulls. He just falls off a cliff. So I'm seeing how that goes.
As a Magic fan, I've seen how it goes too. We had Joe Ingles this year, and he was in Utah the last couple years, and he was a really high percentage 3-point shooter, and then he gets to Orlando, and it's like Thanos showed up and just snapped his finger and goodbye.
Can't get
It's
nothing.
exactly. I mean, but I do like the Magic's young core, Franz, Paulo. I just think we have a logjam with guards. You have Fultz, you have Anthony Black, you have Caleb Houston, you have Jalen Suggs. I know I'm missing somebody. I said Anthony Black, Markel Fultz, Jalen Suggs,
Cole Anthony. You say him?
Cole Anthony. Which when the Magic took him, I'm like, okay, he's your future point guard, and then the next year they go and take another guard. I'm like, why? You already have Cole Anthony.
I don't know. You have to ask
I'm going to say this. I feel like the Magic are going to trade one of their guards this offseason, whether it be Fultz, whether it be Anthony, whether it be Suggs. And I would hate for it to be Jalen Suggs. He's a really good defender. But if you want to get something, you got to give up something. It's that simple.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's not a bargain. It's not a giveaway. It's a trade. You're right. So, yeah. So, I give a value to give value.
I think that's going to wrap up today's episode. We will see y'all not next Thursday, but the Thursday after.
4th of July? You sure about that?
Yes. Not next Thursday, but wait, no. Because it's July 4th.
Yeah, right. I'm saying 4th of July. So it's 2 weeks from today. You sure
the
about
week
that?
after 4th of July.
So July 11th. Okay, yeah.
Yes, July 11th, we will be back with another episode, and it's probably going to be the AFC.
Yes.
Okay. See you July 11th.
All right.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
And ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap up this episode of the NFL Power Hour with Alec and Jared. We will see you July 11th. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.